I've been a bit everywhere these past few weeks. Studio, classes, cafe, home, jumping from ideas to case studies. And in the midst of all that, I realized something. There is a massive part of architecture that we're not actually taught. Not in classes, not in studio. And today, I want to talk about it. Architecture school teaches you how to design. At least, that's what it promises. You learn concepts, theories, representation, and structure, and everything that comes with it. But from the moment you start working on the project, from the moment you start conceptualizing the whole thing, all the way up to the moment that you put it on boards, you realize something doesn't connect. Yeah, there is a gap. And that gap is found in between what you thought and what you expected to produce. I'll come deep into that in a second. Well, every project starts some way. A clear concept, a good idea, everything, that actually makes sense. It's clear in your mind, it's logical, it's exciting, and at that moment, you feel like everything is actually under control. And then reality hits. The concept meets constraints, structural logic, site limitation, zoning, time, and suddenly your beautiful idea starts falling apart. There is the first thing that actually architecture doesn't teach you, is how to deal with collapsing idea. Well, in this whole thing, no one teaches you how to pivot without losing direction. No one teaches you how to fail productively. No one teaches you all that. You're expected to figure it all out yourself. Yeah, and in the end, you're not just designing one project. You design hundreds of versions of it. You move a wall, you shift volume, you rotate the grid, you do the zoning again, or you do sketches to reconceptualize your concept. You try many different things again and again and again, and eventually you're not designing anymore. You're deciding. And here, the second thing that architecture doesn't actually teach you is how to make decisions and the pressure. Because in architecture, indecision is actually what kills your project. They'll tell you architecture is all about space, light, and material. But in school, it's roughly that. Because in school, there's another material, and that material is time. Well, deadlines, they don't care about your concepts. Your creativity, it doesn't always show up on time or on schedule. You're expected to design even though you're tired or completely out of ideas. And that's something that you only learn by going through it. Not in classes, but in studio at 3 a.m. Yeah, it happens to me to actually be in studio at 3 a.m. But I haven't done that yet this semester. You can have great ideas, but if you can't show it, it doesn't exist. And that's another reality in architecture school. The visual communication. All right? The plans, the sections, the diagrams, the elevations, all the other things, you name it, they all pathways to actually show to people that your idea actually do matter. And if you don't have that, well, it'll be hard to convince them. Like, very hard. And no one really actually teaches you how to make them speak. And then comes the critic. You stand there presenting something that you worked on for weeks in a few minutes. And then it get questioned, it get pulled apart, it get reinterpreted. Then comes what architecture school doesn't teach you next. It doesn't teach you how to detach yourself from your work. Because if you take every work of yours or every critic personally, well, you won't be able to survive the process. But in the end, there is that thing, somehow, even through this whole chaos, you rebuild, you adapt, you refine, and you find clarity again. That project of yours, even if it's not perfect, well, you still made it real. And to conclude, well, architecture school doesn't only teach you how to design. It forces you to learn things it never explicitly explains. How to make or how to think under pressure, how to make decisions, how to fail and still get back up to keep moving. Well, architecture isn't just, about having a great idea. It's actually about what you do when that idea of yours falls apart. I think that's what matters the most. Well, That'll be all for me today. It was Sean. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch up on the next one.